that their families were going to be hurt, and their families would probably be executed, and you got the victims. And it doesn't matter if there's the mass graves and the commemoration is in halabja. There's another picture here that flashes by, and that picture is important because I'm pointing to it. And that picture shows where Saddam Hussein was in. There he is. That second one from the end. Saddam Hussein was up in Kurdistan, and he was talking to people, and since it didn't go his way, he wanted to find a final solution. It doesn't matter where it is, folks. Killing individuals, innocent individuals, men and women, children, it's not the way to go. It's not the way to do things. It is not the final solution. Because it wasn't the final solution to the Armenians, it wasn't the final solution to the Pontic Greeks, it wasn't the final solution in Germany to the Jews, it wasn't the final solution to Kurdistan. It wasn't the final solution in Sudan. The solution is speaking. The solution is carrying on a conversation. The solution is trying to find a means that we can communicate with each other. And in Canada, over the years, we had a means of being able to do this. The Canadians were involved and still are involved. We're involved today in Afghanistan, be it the right role or the wrong role. I'm not going to get into that because I've lost a cousin in that conflict, and I voted to put him in harm's way. The solution is not when you see the people in Iran, and I see my good friend Raza Moridi here, and last year we were shoulder to shoulder outside Queen's Park as what was happening in Iran, that you've seen the people that were voicing democracy, and it wasn't local police, it was imported police on motorcycles that were going by. And it's even happening today, right now, this very moment. They're called the red shirts. In South Asia. And when you hear all this and you see all this stuff, at some point in time, your brain gets confused, your heart stops, and you say, what is the world doing? What did we do when we gassed the people of halabja? What did Saddam Hussein gain by killing over 180,000 Kurds? There's the mass graves. He is the curator of the museum in halabja, and that's his family. And that's the monument commemorating the genocide. What did we gain? What are we doing? Well, I'm not sure if the world will learn, but I'm going to leave with you a couple of things. One, allow me to join you in thought and prayer as we remember what happened 22 years ago and a month almost to the day. Allow me to say and raise my voice and join you with you today that never again would genocide be perpetrated on any nation in the world. Allow me to say that Canada must hold the responsibility in what is happening, and we must try to prevent what's happening in many countries. We forgot Burma or Myanmar, as they say it today. There was a cyclone that almost killed the whole country, and the generals would not allow people to go from outside. And there's something which is called R2P in the United Nations, responsibility to protect. And this was something that Canadians brought to the table, but it's not being used. And R2P is the responsibility of the international community to protect its people. We didn't use R2P when things were happening in Iran last year. We're not using R2P today in Sudan, Myanmar, and that we're all a little responsible for. But I think it's time that in Canada we devise something that is called the Department of Peace. And I want to walk you through this. We've got external affairs, we've got CETA, and they try to do things. But if we somehow join other nations and form Department of Peace, something that goes wrong in the world, there is an intervention, be it first diplomatic relations, be it a mediator, and if that does not work out, then we go to the United Nations and protect the people. That's what we have to do. But today, we're here remembering the lives of the individuals that were lost. Coming around the bend and meeting the folks at the monument. And the monument is 19 meters high, is that 19? March 19th. Across, it's 3 meters, symbolizing the march, and seeing all the families that were written on there. I was invited to go back this year in order to commemorate with them the 22nd anniversary. Well, we sort of had a surprise for the community. Because when I left there, I said to them that we're going to try to recognize the genocide that was perpetrated against you in Canada. Having it done once, and that wasn't easy. The recognition of the Armenian genocide was not easy. I know Mr. Marakian is here with us, and he's going to be probably speaking before or after me. He knows the struggles that his father and I, and he's joined lately, over the years, how we tried to get the government of Canada to recognize what happened in Armenia. That wasn't easy. But we were able to do it. And this year, although the motion 505 does not have the word genocide in it, and I'll explain to you why, it goes far enough, leaps and bounds, in order to recognize the atrocities against humanity in that part of the world. The original motion that I promised my friend in halabja was that we would move to recognize the genocide against the Kurdish people. But when I came here, you got to deal with 307 different individuals, and everybody has their own agenda in politics. We even have our own agenda in politics at our houses, and everybody wanting to do things their own way. When the motion was introduced in the House way back, but I wanted to bring it forward so on March the 16th we can do it and do it for the community. It was a Tuesday. We started the week before in talking to the other parties. The Bloc Québécois, their critic of external affairs, said, look, I don't want the word genocide in there, it's going to open a lot of holes, so can you take the word genocide out? Noticing that I needed unanimous consent in order to move it and move it quickly, I said, okay, I'll take the word genocide out. Okay, she says, we're on board. In talking to the NDP, we're doing it, we're not doing it, we're not doing it, wasn't sure. In talking about Ray, he said, yeah, a couple of changes, not a problem if you wanted to take the word Arabization out. Because I had that, this was a systematic Arabization of the KRG area. Fine, we'll take Arabization out. Sending it across to the Conservatives and speaking to Lawrence Canad, which is the Minister of External Affairs, and I got to thank him for quickly moving. We agreed on a motion on Thursday, Friday night. At that point in time, I got a phone to the community and I said, more than likely, 99% is going to happen on Tuesday. If you want to come up, come on up. It's not going to be too long. It's only going to be a couple of minutes, and more than likely we'll fly. Well, on Monday afternoon, I got word from Jack Layton that his party was going to be supporting it. And on Tuesday morning, around 9:30, I think I was invaded by about 75 Kurds in my office.